Once again, this video was sponsored by Ridge Wallet. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of Ridge's products, and I haven't changed on this matter for almost 2 years at this rate. And this is how I keep my Martin's bonus card wherever I go. Ridge makes lifestyle products that are built with simplicity and longevity in mind. They are made of high-grade materials that don't break down, and this Ridge wallet is no exception. It has a lifetime warranty. That's how confident they are in the quality of this product. It's basically a couple of pieces of hard material, either aluminum or something like a hard polymer. The aluminum, as you can see, is the version that I have, but it's struck together with an elastic band like this. And then on the back, you can have either a cash strap or a money clip to keep your cash. And it's pretty small. It holds every standard card size. And this is my Galaxy S10 that's cracked on the front. Comparatively, this is how big it is. This is how it fits in my pocket. It's really out of the way, but it's there when you need it. I converted to Ridge Wallet and never looked back. If you want to convert too, you can get one for 10% off of your order by going to ridge.com/Gregor and using the code Gregor at checkout. Free shipping and handling. You can return it absolutely free if you don't like it, and it comes with a lifetime warranty. Check out the link in the description if you're interested, and thanks again to Ridge for sponsoring this video. So dudes, I know that I'm a little bit late to the party on this one. I should really say a lot of it, because this is news that has been public for a long time now. But I wanted to talk about it anyway because I was in the shower and my mind was racing about it, and I had a lot of ideas to incorporate into a commentary video, and I'm going to do that now. And if you notice that my arm is messed up, it's because I spilled cooking oil on it. So I don't have coronavirus or some other kind of strange disease. This was a disease that came about from trying to fry chicken. So that's why that happened. Sledge lost his SMG-11 during Crystal Guard, and obviously a lot of people were very upset about it. A lot of people are still very upset about it. And I think the reason that people are upset about it is because they have this idea that changes like this are aimed at pleasing Pro League, aimed at sort of catering to Pro League. And I have a vlog that I'm working on. I have a video essay that's more structured on than this that's going to approach that topic. But I want to talk a little bit as an addendum to that video here about why I think that's the case and why I think people are pushing back on Ubisoft and a lot of these balance changes recently, and what does that mean for the health of the game moving forward. And the overwhelming majority of people, like I said already, obviously did not like the SMG-11 change. They actively resent it. They think that it was unnecessary. They think that Sledge was in a pretty balanced state. And this is something that is shared for a number of different balance changes where we have an operator that was quote unquote a little too overtuned, and then they take away, oh, there goes the mic, where they take away an aspect of their kit that made them very strong, like Buck, whenever they took away Buck's frag grenades. Goyo getting his shield taken away, which I think was necessary for reasons that are somewhat unrelated to this. But it's still worth mentioning. What the overwhelming majority of people, though, whenever I see Ubisoft make a balance change and people don't like it, is comments like this. Imagine hurting the community that supports your game. Like, who would do that? Obviously, we're on r/Rainbow Six, and take that for what you will. But a lot of people seem to direct their blame, their ire, towards the competitive scene of the game. They directly said this because of professional players and top-ranked players. The vast majority of players, this isn't something they wanted or needed. Yeah, and that's pretty accurate. Not a lot of people wanted this. Let's cater to these dishes and flip the bird to 99.9% of our fan base. Now, a lot of pro players, as you can see from the Siege.gg headline, are of the opinion that Sledge is going to be completely fine. And yeah, I think he is going to be fine. But did they have to do this? Well, the rationale behind it is that it's done for top-ranked and pros because he showed an upward trajectory on the balancing matrix, rising in presence and win delta. A part of this comes from the high degree of utility in his loadout that makes him incredibly versatile. And Ubisoft is halfway right. He did get a rise in the presence because of his versatile kit. But you know what else? You know the other reason that his presence went up? It's because they nerfed the crap out of Zof and Ash, and then these are two operators with util. These are two operators with pretty decent guns and frag grenades. So they have util, frags, good guns. util, good guns. Util, good gun. Got nerfed. Are they bad now? No. But a lot of people got upset about it, and they just didn't want to bother learning the new recoil pattern because nerfs are an inherently off-putting thing when it comes to any kind of game balancing. You know, gridlock doesn't really get picked at all because Nomad can basically do the same job, but better because Nomad can place the air jab above a door, and then you can't get rid of it unless you have an impact grenade. Of course, with gridlock, you can shoot the tracks out. Should we do anything, you know, to kind of make gridlock a little bit more viable? Because right now we have two operators that do the same thing, and one of them is just objectively better than the other one. It's not that big of a deal. You know, we buffed Fuse. We let him hard breach his thing through hard walls. Uses cluster charge through hard walls. Finka still sucks. So what should we do? Oh, we should give her frag grenades back. Her gadget sucks. It makes other people have to work around her in case she's in, unless she's in a coordinated team composition that's going to anticipate the recoil change that's going to happen to them in the middle of a gunfight. But, you know, we'll just give her frag grenades and that'll change it. That'll solve the problem. Kali has not been able to replace Thatcher to the point where even when we're in like an 80% Thatcher ban meta, the meta is pretty much to open it up with Maverick anyway and get rid of the util with frag grenades. Kali, you know, we gave her a better gun, but people still aren't playing her. What's going on with that? Oh, this is really weird. This is really confusing. What's going on? Like, it shows in my opinion, it shows a desire to approach a pick rate problem, and Ubisoft has deemed operators with high pick rates a problem. Oh, hey, look at Jaeger over here again. Did anyone see that coming? Huh. Right? But if we look at the chart more closely, let's just look at the data that is seen here for ranked PC, Platinum, and above. High win-loss operators, especially on defense, are you noticing a trend here, right? Rook, low risk involved, right? Place the armor down, peek something, you might die, you still give your teammates armor. Plus he has a high rate of fire, gun with a 2x scope, which is good for spawn peeking. Frost, you know, got her scope taken away. What happened here? Why is she still up here? Capkin is up here. Alibi, good gun, high rate of fire, low recoil. Valkyrie, good gun, high rate of fire, low recoil. She can play really aggro off of her cams, throw them outside. Mozzie's got the Roni, Aruni's got the Roni. Malusi still has the MP5. Jaeger still gets picked because everything revolves around frag grenades in this game. Whenever you're looking at the too strong aspect of this chart, you're just looking at gunner ops. You're looking at gunner ops and ranked. And that really shouldn't surprise anybody. But for some reason, we're using this chart, we're using pick rates here, and looking at this and going, oh, nope, too strong. Too strong. It has to change. It has to change. And they change it, and then a competition rolls around. Let's look at NAL for stage 3 here. Let's look at the operator pick rates. Go to operators. Would you look at that? Sledge is still the most picked operator, despite the SMG-11 getting taken away from him. So did you accomplish that goal? No, of course not. He has the ability to play Bob the Builder above sight and create vertical angles in a way that not a lot of operators are capable of doing. And he has frag grenades for util clear. So until you take away those frag grenades, his pick rate isn't going to go down. And I'm not saying that you should take away his frag grenades. What I'm saying, because that's what happened to Buck. They took away his frag grenades, and now he's hovering around here. So what I think should be done, instead of trying to balance your game around guns and scopes, which is off-putting for a lot of people because, especially in ranked, people aren't that involved to the point where they're going to be doing these really elaborate competitive pro league types of setups. I've realized this just doing map videos recently. People don't this is going to sound really condescending. People don't want to play Siege. They want to play an elimination game with one-shot headshot and pretty solid, pretty precise gunplay without too much recoil. And if there is recoil, you can learn it to a point where it's not that big of a deal anyway. They want to play a fun game based around its gunplay, and a lot of the gadgets, they're just kind of there. I'm sorry, but in ranked, this is just kind of the way it is. Even when you get up to like really high elo, this is how it is. And what we end up doing when the first solution, whenever we see a pick rate problem, if you want to call it a problem, is okay, well, Too high now. Time to take away the gun now. Time to take away the frags now. Time to take away this. Take away that. They're always... I'm glad that this patch, we saw buffs for Twitch and Fuse, because those are operators that definitely needed a little bit of love, and I love seeing stuff like that. We need more gadget tune-ups like that. We need to take operators that don't have a place in the meta and try to find a way to make them a little bit more appealing without making them overpowered. And when your first instinct is to just take away guns and take away scopes, and you do this every single patch, every time another patch comes around, and Zofia is the pick of the, it's like anime of the month, right? Zofia is the anime waifu of the month. Ashe is the anime waifu of the month, because she just has the lowest effort involved at the time, because she has a really good gun, and even if you pick her, you're still contributing a little bit anyway, because her gadget is useful. There are always going to be people that are going to gravitate towards the less involved characters, especially in ranked, because people aren't trying to compete for prize money in ranked. There are always going to be gunners. You cannot nerf mechanically skilled players. They're always going to gravitate towards things that they can get the most amount of reward out of without having to worry too much about stratting and setting up. And if we keep doing this, we keep going down this pattern of, okay, here's the flavor of the month, nerf them, it gives the player base this idea in their head that they're getting punished for playing the game the way that they want to. And this kind of sounds like something of a term that I've created myself that I saw a lot when I was growing up playing Halo Reach. This is what I call we know better than you balancing. This is something that Bungie did a lot when Halo Reach came out. When Halo Reach came out, everybody was freaking out about armor lock. Everybody universally hated armor lock. It was a gimmicky mechanic. It was like something out of a fighting game. It didn't really fit Halo. It didn't fit something in an arena shooter. And yeah, you had some modes here and there where armor lock was kind of mitigated to a certain extent. But the core mechanic of the ability, it didn't get changed that much up until the point where 343 took over Reach, and then they made a huge title update that changed certain aspects about the way guns recoiled in that game and some of the abilities. But for the most part, armor lock came, and then Bungie just kind of said, we don't care if you don't like it. It's here, and our numbers, the charts that we're looking at, oh, well, it looks good to me. Well, it looks like it has an efficacy rating of 49.6, and so, you might not like it, but too bad. And that's kind of what's happening here. Ubisoft seems to have a fixation on these stats, and then they'll do changes that are wildly unpopular with the player base. And then when the player base goes, I get what you're trying to do here, man, but was this the approach to do it? Ubisoft just, they go to the chart and then they go, well, the pick rate was do you know how to do stats? I know how to do stats. And it's like, dude, you have to tread a line between what's fun and what's going to be competitively viable. That's the job, man. It's tough. It's hard. I get it. And personally, I think that Rainbow Six Siege should embrace more of the competitive aspect of this game. I think that's what Ubisoft should from the get-go, they should have gone full throttle with. And they've had their foot on the gas for a long time trying to promote the competitive scene. But a lot of the time, changes that get done to operators, like especially Buck getting his frag grenades taken away, they get seen as decisions that are made to cater towards Pro League, not because they go into a chart, right? And then they say, well, we saw the data and it said this, and then you go to what they say about it in the patch notes and they go, population targeted by this change, top ranked in pros, and then everyone on Reddit goes, see, they said it. They said that they're catering to top ranked in pros. They're saying that to a certain degree, like they're halfway right. But the reason they're saying it is because they feel like there are aspects about these characters that nobody was complaining about. Nobody was complaining about Sledge's SMG-11. I can't count a single person when you're on defense, when Sledge had an SMG-11 and you died to it and you went, freaking SMG-11, right? Because it's like, it's a pretty skill-based gun. It has the highest DPS of any fully automatic gun in the game, but it's got a small magazine. You can't really frag like multiple people in a row unless you have really good mechanical skill, and you have to learn the recoil pattern to a certain extent to pick up multiple kills back to back to back. So nobody seemed to be upset about Sledge having an SMG-11. In fact, the overwhelming feedback, it seems, is why? Was this even necessary? And this is something that happens with a lot of changes, especially for attackers, which we have already established that attackers had a gun advantage over defenders because defenders have a tactical advantage in the ability to react to gunfights. They don't have to proactively engage the opponent. The attackers have to be more proactive, and that's an inherently more difficult gunfight to take. So the defenders had submachine guns and the attackers had assault rifles. I thought that this was the approach that we had established for a long time, but you know, we have an attacker that gets too high up here, and then Ubisoft says, no, stop it. And that's just a toxic relationship to have with your player base when it comes to balancing. And I really hope that we figure out how to do this without punishing people for playing the game the way that they want. And we need to stop maligning people for trying to play the game like a shooter game, because it is a shooter game. And we can't pretend that it's League of Legends with guns sometimes. And that's all I got to say about that. If you disagreed with pretty much everything I said, go ahead and let me know why. If you liked the video, give it a like. Let me know what other changes you would like to see done on the attacker side of the meta to maybe make kind of solve this whack-a-mole with attackers that we're playing here, because I don't see a way out of it at this current rate if we keep up at the rate that we're going. And thanks so much for watching. Deuces.